Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote-unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp, and those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Guns N' Roses, great way to kick off the show. 92.1 City, Sweet Child of Mine. Philly and Joe on a Two-Dat Tuesday at 6:12.
I'll tell you, the last stadium show you went to was GNR.
Yeah.
Because you bring it up every once in a while. I will tell you this, Phil, you might not be aware this morning because you were looking after some other stuff with the Bone Phone coming up. Rock and Thunder Stadium Series. We've got tickets to give away at some point today now. This just dropped. Okay. 4 tickets to Rock and Thunder. We're going to make it a 4-pack. Princess Auto Stadium, Thursday, July 9th.
Well, let's throw them in. Now, I don't mean to, we can obviously discuss this, Joe, but I think 7:45.
I think it's been discussed.
No, they're completely useless because we've had that. That prize is amazing.
For sure.
The hot air balloon and the
Red Top.
That's an amazing prize. But, just to mix it up and completely useless this morning, what do you think?
No, absolutely. So this morning, useless will be Rock and Thunder, 4-pack of tickets to see Def Leppard, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Foreigner, Toque. That's going to be a fun day, really, at Princess Audio. And tickets are on sale now, by the way, at Ticketmaster.
So the Guns N' Roses show that I was at, you may or may not remember this, but there was somebody in front of me that had a cricket on their shoulder.
Yes.
And they were having a great time at the concert. And I was faced with the dilemma, do you flick the cricket off? Like, you could tell that they had been possibly laying in a field before the show. I mean, maybe smoking a joint, maybe having a couple of pops somewhere or whatever. And the cricket was on their shoulder, and I just remember not knowing whether I should flick it off.
You know what's interesting is, if you remember back to that show, as loud as it was, you could still hear the cricket. Those things are the most annoying.
Loud and clear, like it was part of the band. Anyway, conclusion, I did not flick it off the guy's shoulder.
Could have started a whole fight.
Well, I it was a pretty serious-looking dude, and he had his phone out, too, and he had someone on the line, like a friend, go, "Oh, it's so amazing. You got to hear these songs." And he was holding the phone up in the air so his buddy could hear the show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it was a scene.
This is why we're doing 4-packs. You can invite your buddies. He doesn't have to listen sitting on the phone. So that's coming up. The show itself, July 9th, a Wednesday at Princess Auto Stadium. So
sweet. And
7:40-ish?
7:45 typically in that area. And the Two-Dat text messages are coming in. Keep those coming. 762-555. Bone Phone on the way in 5 minutes.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
I just want to wish my little angel a happy 9th birthday. Happy 9th birthday, Haley. Daddy loves you very much. I'm very proud to be your dad. Just wondering if you guys could play her favorite song. Every time she gets into my SUV, she always asks me to play it right away, and that is Godsmack Voodoo. All right, thanks a lot. Cheers.
That's excellent taste right there. Hot dog guy, nice birthday wish. And yes, we can play some Godsmack Voodoo for you.
We've sure come a long way, because I'll tell you, sitting in the back of my dad's car, never called me an angel or ever let me play whatever music I wanted.
Never.
In that car.
Hey, was he calling radio stations to wish you a happy birthday?
No,
Probably
he certainly
not.
wasn't. Good on the kid. Happy birthday.
Keep it down back there.
Yeah.
Or you'll be walking.
Oh, man.
I ever tell you about the time my dad dropped my brother and I off on the side of we were on a highway trip, probably to go see my grandparents or something, and we were fighting. He pulled us over on a gravel road. Get out, both of you. You're walking.
Yeah.
And we get out, and I start bawling. I was young.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
My older brother, though, my older brother looks at me, stop crying. He's going to come back and pick us up. He's not going to leave us on the side
Voice of reason.
Yeah.
Your older brother.
He's not leaving us on the side of the highway, and I'm bawling. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, he came back.
10?
Yeah,
That's pretty.
He let us sit.
He let you think about it for a while. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
That certainly is old school.
It is. Yeah, things I would never do nowadays. Okay, Dennis the Menace, he wants to talk about a show he was at. We love these. If you go to a concert, man, let us know about it.
What a kick-ass concert. 3 Days Grace on Friday night. Wow. That was awesome. Second, really enjoyed Metallica week, except that, in all honesty, I was kind of disappointed that there weren't more deep tracks thrown out there. Anyway, happy week. Let's go Big Blue. Yeah.
Okay, Iron Mike loves the input, the feedback. That's the word I was looking for.
Absolutely. Bombers are actually in BC on Saturday. I was just reading that Nathan Rourke, their quarterback, who hurt his oblique, will practice, but undecided whether he's starting on Saturday. But Zach Collaros will be at the helm.
I'm excited. You know, I mean, Bombers looked really good to go beat BC with your backup quarterback. Very nice. Moving on here. Yesterday, parking and bad parking in parking lots in particular came up on the show, and T. Kona wants to weigh in.
Good morning, T. Kona. You guys are talking about parking in the parking lots. Went to Costco yesterday, Regent. Here's this moron from Alberta, big trailer on his truck, parked in about 8 stalls wide, right? So he takes up all that space. What does friendly Manitobans do? Well, they take the next available spots in front and behind them, and there is no way this a-hole was getting out of there. I tried to take a picture, but I couldn't get a good picture. But it was quite funny. Why the hell would you park your damn truck and trailer, take up 8 to 10 spots, and expect that to be a good thing? You idiot.
Yeah, that's you know what it sounds like. The like he said, your friendly Manitobans basically let them know in their own way by boxing them in.
You're from Berta.
Yeah,
I'll tell you too. It only happens at Costco. You could be in a Walmart parking lot and you're probably okay, but Costco, that's serious business.
That's the jungle, baby.
You get that is the jungle. That's Predator 3 right there. You get your parking spot. You put your stuff on. And you just do your thing, and you go, hey, I don't care, but I'm probably getting out of here before Berta.
Exactly. Okay, the hooligan with kudos. He's left messages on the bone phone about his son in the past. They haven't always been positive. He's very honest about his son on the bone phone.
I'd like to give an attaboy award to my son, Jacob, who's 19, and a friend of his asked him if you're running the marathon with him, and I was kind of shocked because my son, he never really liked sports. So he started training, I guess, a couple of months ago. So he ran it yesterday, which was Sunday. And he did it in 4 hours and 27 minutes. So attaboy, son. Attaboy. I told him if he did it under 4 hours, I'd give him $500. So he didn't do it under 4 hours, so no $500. That's how it works. And for that caller who asked me how fast I go on Murray, that I go airborne at that patchwork they did. Well, the speed limit is 70 kilometers, so therefore I'm doing about 70, 75 kilometers before the light, because you have to give her, to get that light. If you don't, you sit there forever. So speed limit 70, so why would I not do 70 kilometers? All right. Attaboy, son. Try harder next year. Maybe we'll get that 500.
Fair enough.
But he did get an attaboy award.
Yes.
From Hooligan.
Nicely done. Stanley Cup final. Loud Guy's been all over this, and finally resuming tonight.
Hey, Loud Guy, watching the Edmonton Oilers. Again, super disappointment. I don't know what's going on with them to lose at home. And this Marchand on the other team, I don't get why these guys can't cover him. Like, he is a little rat. Just skirting around, and nobody seems to hit this guy. Get on him. All these guys that are irritating them and everything, give it back to them. Come on, guys. I thought you wanted to bring the cup home. Let's see it.
I think the Oilers, I know the Oilers do, but Florida's a really, really, really good team, and Marchand's a great player.
Well, it's unbelievable how he's been rejuvenated getting picked up by Florida and seems to fit in. But Pomo himself just said last week, this is the best team, no offense to anybody else, that I've ever coached. And I know he throws out a lot of hyperbole to keep us all entertained and also the boys, but he obviously means what he says sometimes. And this team has made Edmonton look really bad on 2 occasions in the Stanley Cup final. They really they gotta bring it all out tonight. To just get it home for Game 7.
Yeah.
They've got the home ice advantage in this, and they lost it the other night. So
massive game tonight, clearly. Okay, let's wrap with this. We were talking gas deals yesterday and how, remember back in the day when all these gas stations used to offer deals when you would get gas there, whether it's a 2-liter a pop or a coffee cup or a tumbler.
I still remember the bags of plant seeds.
Yeah.
Like they would give away. It was great.
How about when years ago when the gas stations used to take the $2 off coupons out of the Sun paper? All the gas stations would take them. Free tank of gas, free pack of smokes, or whatever. Okay, have a good day. Bye.
That's something you don't see advertised anymore.
No, I don't.
Free pack of smokes. It used to be on all the signs at gas stations. 2 packs of smokes for $10.
But they get
like
the
that.
deal. Yeah, you'd have to buy both packs.
No
to
more.
Get the deal.
No more advertising smokes in 2025.
Oh, look at this hot dog guy. Esso on Pembina has a free $1 scratch ticket right now with a fill. You could become a millionaire just for fill it up.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Well, Spaceballs 2 being announced. It was in the news, and someone mentioning, I can't remember, on the Boston Pizza text line that it won't be the same without John Candy as Barf.
Yeah,
and I couldn't agree more. That sucks, and I totally forgot when I was putting together the story this morning. Because there's so much good news on people who are returning with Rick Moranis and Mel Brooks that it slipped my mind that John Candy was in the original as well.
You mentioned it in the news. The Rick Moranis thing is interesting because he did not appear in any remake of Ghostbusters, which was interesting in itself. But John Candy, you realize, was like mid-40s when he passed away, like so young. Last appearance I ever remember him here in Winnipeg was the Grey Cup when he was a part owner of the Argos with, who was it? Gretzky and Bruce McNall, right?
Yeah.
When they were with the Kings, I believe, that far back.
He had become a
fan
familiar,
favorite here.
Yeah, and all over the CFL. But
going out for pierogies down in the North End and a bunch of
talk
stuff.
about gone way too soon. John Candy. Every time I see a John Candy movie on the guide and I click on it, and you just it's kind of, I mean, all these early losses are sad, but something about Robin Williams, John Candy, there's a few of those guys where you're just like, oh, man, really? Like, why?
You got to wonder, too, with a movie like Spaceballs coming back, like how many more remakes we're going to see. Roadhouse, remember, was one that we talked quite a bit about, and now they're making another Roadhouse because of the success of the streaming of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, how about the fact that Mel Brooks, and Crazy Craig pointed this out on the text line, is turning 99?
I said to you, he was like super old earlier. Like,
what?
It's absolutely crazy. He's that sharp. He's still obviously a part of this movie. Crazy.
How is he 99 and still slated to be in this movie? Like, that's got to be a pretty small role. Like,
Clint, 95, just turned last week, still wants to direct. I saw him last night in Every Which Way But Loose. You talk about a classic. And because of everybody on the Boston Pizza text line reminding us of things that happened in that movie, I have to watch Every Which Way You Can now. Because
that's the second one.
Yeah, that's the one where they go...
they hooked you, Joe.
Yeah,
they hooked you for the
on
sequel.
The first one. I forgot that Sandra Locke, who was the love interest in this, was basically a shyster. She was conning him. All along, and he chases her, and the bike gang chase him, and the two cops chase him, basically Philo, right through the whole movie, and then it's this kind of it ends.
Hey, whoa! We're gonna get a review this morning.
No, it's good.
Giving away
good.
too many
Come on,
details.
You can't make me make a review of that movie.
That's it right there.
I had to watch it. It was good.
Okay.
Good enough.
that's it. That's the review.
That's good enough.
But you're hooked in for the second movie.
I got to see the second.
Okay, good. Now, and the fact that it's showing up on the guide again, that's great news right there.
Yeah.
That it's going to become a movie that I can click on and put a red dot on again. Someone saying that The Great Outdoors was their
he was good in that too.
favorite John Candy movie, and that Jack Black would be great for John Candy's role in Spaceballs too.
There's some truth to that.
I like that idea. Hey, we're going to get a gut feeling out of Joe after 7 o'clock. See if the Oilers can show a pulse tonight and stay alive and force a Game 7.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Isa Joe's got the feeling.
Yeah, before we get to Joe and can the Oilers respond tonight, I'd like to read a text message that is fantastic because we're all thinking it. Who's in charge of this year's Bombers schedule? First week of bye, now back-to-back with BC? Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what the hell?
You've been to the Grey Cup 5 straight years. Is that not correct?
Something like that.
Yes. And I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but marketing-wise, you usually have a rematch of that final. I think the National Football League do, and they look like they're going to make it through the marketing machine.
Yeah, they're okay with
yeah,
marketing.
but no. You get to the CFL final, and we'll give you a bye week 1. You rest.
And then home and home with BC.
Yes.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah.
Oiler fans want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. Can the Oilers? Because it doesn't look like it. If you watch last game, there was a bit of a they're done feeling.
Yeah, but we've said that before in this series, that they were done. But I really do believe this time their goaltending, I think their mental, the capacity is done. I really do. I don't think either one of them, Pickard, unfortunately, the other night, wasn't his fault. And Skinner the other night wasn't his fault either. I think this Florida team is just that good. They're going to pounce. They don't want to go back to Edmonton for Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to take Florida tonight as a gambler. I took them to win in Edmonton. I'm going to take them for sure at home tonight to close out this series. But listen, it's a coin flip. It really is. I think it'll be closer, though, tonight. I think if Florida wins, it'll be by a goal, maybe 2 at most.
Well, and the shots are always like midway, like 3/4 of the way through the game. The shots are like 15-12, exactly how Florida wants to play.
Yeah.
Like the commentators, the analysts there were showing how Florida doesn't give you the middle of the ice because they're so big and strong and they're so good on the boards that they just control everything through their physicality.
Look who's scoring for them, too. You've got, like, Marchand's had an incredible... Nate Schmidt, the former Jet defenseman, is having a great playoff,
series,
too. They're getting goals and production from other guys and their stars as well, and decent enough goaltending to win. I take Florida tonight to win the Stanley Cup, but I'm more interested to see what the repercussions are going to be after the season with guys like McDavid and Draisaitl and how long they will stay in that Edmonton plan.
I think they will. Aren't they signed? Like Draisaitl, I think is.
Yeah, he just signed.
Yeah, and I think McDavid, his buddy, is Draisaitl. I think he'll. I think he'll stay. They have the recipe there. They're gone. There's 2 straight Cup finals.
Yeah,
it's just a great Florida team that is, proving to be a headache for everybody.
They seem to improve themselves too. So.
Yeah, Seth Jones, Brad Marchand, like they know how to add pieces.
I'd love to see a Game 7. I would. But I don't think that's going to happen.
The gut, what'd you have to eat yesterday?
You know what? I had a double smash patty burger with curly fries, and I'll tell you right now. And then I had a Kit Kat chocolate bar last night watching the NBA Finals. My sugar went right through the roof.
Okay. But that's good news for the gut then.
I'm telling you, little woozy.
He's taken and Joe's gut is saying the cup will get handed out tonight in Sunrise, Florida.
Yep.
We all hope, and I know you hope you're wrong too,
Yeah.
Because as you just said, you'd love to see a Game 7, and we all want to see the cup come back to Canada. Let's see what the Oilers. Let's hope the Oilers can prove us wrong. That's Joe's gut feeling.
For more Philly and Joe, plug it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
It's funny, free falling is sort of one of the things you were worried about if the 92.1 City Bone Phone 100-meter race happens because we're trying to figure out what would be the proper surface. Most are saying it should be a track surface. Your wife had a great suggestion of maybe just a grass area.
She's adamant, my wife, that it should be grass. Just she doesn't trust the participants, namely me, that there won't be a fall. And, because, listen, we're not professional runners. Captain Obvious here. And 100 meters, it's gonna feel long for some of us.
I'm gonna suggest this that nobody knows, but Iron Mike was on holidays last week. He came in yesterday to give us an update on a couple of things.
So yes,
and
guns a blazing.
And Iron Mike works out like 5, maybe 6 days a week. I think he takes one day off a week from a protein bar or something, or one of those protein shakes.
Yeah,
he's in good shape.
He's
in good shape.
Yep.
Anyway, he came in on the conversation about the race, was very excited about it, and threw out a couple of suggestions. And at one point you said, yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll do 50 meters. He goes, it's got to be 100. Hey, Iron Mike put his fist down and said, no, it's going to be 100, or why are we wasting our time and our promo team to put this baby together if it's not going to be 100? So it's 100 meters. That's been told us from the top.
He was funny. He was like, no, 50 meters. There's no such thing as a 50-meter dash. It's 100. So
it's 100.
That's confirmed. And I do hesitate to use the word dash because I don't think it's going to be a dash. It's going to be a 100-meter run.
Yeah, it's a race.
Attempt at running. A dash sounds too fast. This isn't going to be, you know what I mean?
Well, we do have you committed.
Yeah. And we have myself.
Yeah.
And we have Guilty.
Guilty says he's coming in.
He's in. He's sending us the workouts every single day.
Yeah.
Pictures of him working out.
Pictures of his calves the other day.
Yeah, he did. And then now, this is where it all got started with John with a J.
Yeah, his track, he was remembering back to his track meets as a kid, and I brought up the McDonald's orange drink.
That's right. Well, here he is, and I believe this is a confirmation from him.
There's a lot of talk about said bone phone race and, how many people are going to be in the race and how many lanes and this and this and that. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm tired. I am sick and tired because I've been born and raised in Transcona. I'm hearing from my family members and my friends, why don't you be more like Phil? Why don't you be more... No. Why don't you be more like Phil? I know he's got a cozy little gig there in Radioland, and he might look a little better than I do, and, he might be shaped a little better than I am, but I know one thing is for certain. Mom, Phil can't beat me in a race.
Oh.
No chance.
Wow.
It ain't going to happen. So you need to be reserving one of those lanes for the originator, often imitated, never duplicated, John with a J, because I want in on this race. Okay, I don't care if there's Ben Johnson. I don't care if there's Carl Lewis, but I want Phil in one of those lanes.
Ben Johnson.
I can beat Phil. I guarantee it.
Didn't Ben Johnson race a horse at some point?
Well, that's not the one that we're going to get. Ben Johnson from Winnipeg. It's possible. But so right now, this is really shaping up to be a list of legends. Guilty, John with the J, and Phil Aubrey.
What about... I think Loud Guy
said, but we need a confirmation,
right? What if we set the date because Iron Mike was throwing dates out? And once we confirm the date, because we're going to be doing this live on the air.
Yeah, we did talk. We did talk about a date in early July.
Yes. And so
Thursday, I believe.
Right. And then we're going to have to maybe start calling people to confirm. Because it's one thing to say, I'll do it. But we got 8 lanes or 10 lanes or whatever. We got to fill those lanes.
Yeah, I think he's looking at doing it at a pro track, too. So I guess we are looking at either 8 lanes or 10 lanes. I don't know how many. We've tried to discuss that, but we got too many. We didn't really put a lot of thought into this. It was just like an open discussion, right? That's what you and I do, open discussions. And then we let professionals to take care of the details.
Some people are calling it the 100-meter jaunt. That's probably better than the dash.
Yeah.
Colin the Butcher says he's in, and I do remember him saying a few times that
Colin the Butcher said he was in.
So I'll jot him down as well.
Do we have any specs on Colin the Butcher?
Yeah, that's another thing, guys. You can't be a professional runner. You can't train 3-4 days a week. That part of it. You probably can't be 21.
What do you mean probably? 21. Remember the last slow pitch game you played in baseball?
Yeah.
And what a 21-year-old would do to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What about Lisa? Yes, Lisa, we're working on it. She's
I'll tell
tough
ya.
to pin down, Lisa,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Lisa's like that last person standing. You're trying to buy their house to clear out a whole area for a new development. That's Lisa. She's not leaving right now. So right now, Colin.
Yeah,
he's in early 60s.
What does that put us at? 4 or 5?
I think 4 right now.
Joe's on the play-by-play that morning.
Yeah, I have to. I don't have medical clearance, so I'm working on some beverages and
intros,
some
and
foods.
play-by-play.
I don't know, probably donuts or something.
We'll be doing the show live from wherever we're going to nail down a venue, and it's going to be a whole thing here. So we're looking forward to it. The 92.1 City 100-meter jaunt, and I will listen. None of you guys are beating me. That's not going to happen. There's a lot of trash
John,
talk.
you know what? I don't think I even like that. This is that doesn't give it enough. If who wins it doesn't want to say they won the jaunt. They want to say they won the race.
The race it is.
It's gotta be.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get P&J into more ears.
You know what was just added? A text that I just received. You happen to be on it. And it's from a lady you might know. Her name is Stacey Aubrey. Your beautiful wife. If this is a serious race, I'm training the out of you, Phil. I never know your wife used language like that, but she's serious.
She doesn't need to train me. I do want to try 100 meters just to make sure I can do it.
It says make it at least 45 days out. What is she, your agent as well?
Training for 45 days.
I hate to tell you, Stace, you won't be putting in 45 days of training on this one. She goes, we got this. See, she's all about the team. No one beats the Aubreys.
Yeah, she's competitive.
I can tell you that Iron Mike is looking at a date in early July. So right now, you would actually have probably about 3 weeks of training.
I'm not training for 3 weeks. I might run the 100 meters once in a field by my house.
You said that you were going to do that and get one of the kids to time you.
Yeah, just to see. But I'm not divulging.
No.
I'm not making my time public because that gives all these other contestants, participants, something to shoot for.
Yeah.
I'm coming in as a mystery.
Maybe I'll help your wife in the training. Maybe I'll be at the end like it was Rocky training, right? With Mickey.
You got to be the Mick. Can you be my Mick?
I'll get you a chicken. You can run around in the backyard trying to catch the chicken, something like that. You know what? Better yet, I'll be waiting for you at the end of the 100 yards with a Gatorade and a hoagie. Or a sandwich. I know you like your sandwiches.
I know, food is obviously my weakness, but Joe, I'm training you. Get that old sweater that Mick used to wear in the Rocky movies.
I'm curling?
Yeah.
Some in the 40s? One of those knit sweaters.
He had that knit sweater.
With the buttons.
And the hearing aid and the flat hat. And, come on, Aubrey, you can do this.
Aubrey.
You got to get faster.
Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do it.
So it's filling up fast. If you want to participate, we should throw this out.
I got the list right here. Let me give it to you so far from the Bone Phone.
Lay it out.
The Bone Phone 100. Phil Aubrey. Guilty. Butcher Colin. John with a J. Loud Guy. Waiting on confirmation. But he mentioned it the other day, I think, on the Bone Phone. Big N from out of town.
Big N, yeah, he from the Dauphin area.
Somewhere
He's
up there.
Big time regular. He wants a piece of this. So if you want in, you can send us. A Bone Phone's a pretty good way. Bone Phone message, 780 Bone. Let us know your age, how often you train.
Yeah, we knew a couple of credentials. Someone said you should use a calendar as your timer to run this race.
That'd be a bad idea.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year. 30 times. This will happen to the average person.
You can use me or the text line as a lifeline if you need. This will happen to the average person 30 times?
Yep, this year.
This year. Hello, City.
Hey, good morning. Let's go with Philly.
Scam phone calls.
Number 2.
Oh!
Specifically, getting a scam text.
Okay, man, I bet it's...
About 30 of them.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. Hey, plus, you had the phone calls and the emails, and you're spending most of your life on pins and needles that you're not getting hacked.
Oh, and they're so good at it now, too. Hello, City.
Hi. Can I take you, Philly?
Okay, yeah, good. That's good that you... Yeah. Anyway, another guess from me. Let's... There was just a really funny guess on the text line. That's what I'm laughing about. Sleep past their alarm.
No, not on the list here anyway.
Sorry about that. 780 City, 780-2484. Go ahead.
Good morning. Let's get the text line.
Okay, I'm not going to give you this one. Well,
can you pass it along just as a freebie?
Yeah, this is just
for
a freebie.
Entertainment.
Yeah, shart.
Ooh, 30 times
30?
a year.
That's a lot.
That is an accident waiting to happen quite often.
That's not the guess. Okay?
You're not leaving the house very often. This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year.
Oh, you're home again, eh, honey? Yeah, another one of those sharks at work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you an actual guess from the Boston Pizza text line. Yeah, actually, that's all that's there right now. Sorry, there's no other guesses.
Wow.
Just so
we got them stumped today.
You stumped them. So there's another one about underwear, like trust a fart when you shouldn't. So that's 2 shark. So yeah, that's your guess. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, Phil.
That's the text
They asked
line.
to go to the text line. This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year.
And there's more coming in now, but that's how you get the guess that's there. 780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Good morning. Philly, come on. 3rd time's the charge.
30 times in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Get stuck at a train.
No.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's more of a Winnipeg.
That's
That'd be
okay.
a local guess.
This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year.
Hi, City.
Hi. I'm going to say late for work.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now as a clue that most likely this will happen in the summer than any other time of year. Like the numbers would really add up in the summer. This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year. Most of it will probably be summertime.
Hi, City.
Can you turn down your radio there, big guy?
Yeah, sorry, we'll need you to turn your radio down. That's okay.
No, that's okay.
Sorry, what was your...
Take a guess for me, Philly?
I can do that, yeah. Wow, this is a tough one. It's been all lifelines so far.
Big tickets.
Mm-hmm. Rock and Thunder tickets.
Yeah.
You're saying it's more of a summer thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year, and I would say most of the time it would be in the summer months. Yeah.
Bug bites.
Phil Aubrey!
Did I get it?
Bug bites is the answer.
I had no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, right out of left field.
Maybe you could
Holy
hear
cow.
my brain grinding there. That was a tough one.
This will happen to the average person about 30 times this year, and all it took was you to turn down your radio, sir. What's your name?
I'm Ray.
Hold on for us, okay?
Right on, thanks.
Yeah,
guys.
hang on the line. You're the big winner this morning. Somebody said Shart 30 times a year. What are you living at Taco Bell?
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Did you see that text message about the race? Can we just start calling it the race?
It is. Well,
I think that's it. The race.
I'll tell you right now, this is the most amazing race. I know the show's called The Amazing Race, but this will be the most amazing race of all time. But yeah, call it the race.
Just the race. That's what, because it's, it's gone viral. So, Boston Pizza text line 762-555. Hey, Philly, my 13-year-old daughter runs a 12.72.
The 100-meter.
The 100-meter in a 12. What did Guilty say the other day?
15, I think.
15.
And that's a guy in his early 60s. He's doing great.
Yeah, and he's the biggest smack talker right now. He says he's going to kick my ass. Whatever my training time start to be, I'm not sharing it. Just an FYI. Okay, back to the text. Hey, Philly, my 13-year-old runs a 12.72. I asked her to race you. She said, isn't that the guy whose legs don't bend? You're damn right my legs don't bend, but that doesn't mean I can't run. Just for some reference, yeah, I've had some, my legs aren't the most bendable, stretchy legs. But that doesn't affect my running. I'm still pretty fast.
We're going to bring out the WD-40 for those joints.
I'm going to have to loosen up. That's going to be a scene. That's going to be a scene with some of these contestants that are coming forward. We're talking early July at an actual track.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Mike's on it, finding a Olympic-looking track. We're going to do the last couple hours of the show live from the race.
Yeah.
Joe's going to be, you're going to be like Brian Williams or like Don Whitman, rest in peace, God rest his soul, one of the greatest ever.
He was great at calling races, but to be honest, my favorite of all time was Brian Williams because he used to sit at the what they call the event center, right? So it was like the CBC Event Center with Brian Williams here in Nagano, Japan. And then he'd always throw in a fun fact.
That's a great impression.
He'd be sitting there and he'd go, we're going to take you live in just about 2 hours. Rain delay right now at the Osaka, Japan track. But just down the street, you could get sardine chips and a Diet Coke for $12.79. Like he'd always throw in a factoid. So I can imagine.
Oh, you got to do it that way.
Just down the road here at the University of Manitoba, where the home of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, just next door at Princess Auto Stadium. I used to love them.
So good. So that's how you have. So Joe's going to be hosting the event desk that morning, and you're going to be commentating the race live on the air.
Yeah, we're going to do live intros for everybody too.
And we are taking submissions. Okay, so 762-555 is a way to enter the race or just apply. We have to approve you, and then bone phone as well. Because the bone phone might be easier because you can give your credentials. So that's
we need credentials.
Right. How old are you? How often do you train? Are your calves ripped? All that kind of stuff. That might be easier on the bone phone. 780 bone, 780-2484.
Okay, we only have a couple slots left, by the way, to take on the young man from Canterbury Park in Transcona, 51 years of age. The man suffers from stiff leg syndrome, not commonly known until he visited his doctor 5 years ago, an affliction that he's ready to overcome.
Yes.
The big race, 92-1 City, race of a lifetime.
Can't wait. And by the way, that 13-year-old girl, she obviously can't enter. That's way too young. A 13-year-old, that's not happening.
No, you kidding? They're still having school track meets.
Right.
Win gold.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.